Good morning, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, friends and neighbours. I hope everyone's well. What a time to be alive. As you can see, I'm rather bashed up. First of all, I want to give a massive congratulations to Connor Tierney and his team, for getting the job done on Saturday night. Second of all, I want to give a huge thank you and appreciation to Connor Tierney for the opportunity. And to be part of an event like that was it was enormous. It felt like the pinnacle of my career. That ring walk, being there, against the welterweight champ. It was one hell of an experience. I was so very confident I was going to knock him out. We had the best camp. I was in the best shape I've been in. I was on point. Man, I was confident. And full credit and respect to Connor. I'll give him his flowers. It was everything I thought it was going to be and a bit more. He surprised us a little bit in the first round when he threw it on me, if you like. The first damaging cut that was caused was a shot on my left eyelid, and it tore the eyelid, and I remember it feeling it like it was pressing against my eye a little bit. It was causing problems, and when I went to wipe it, I wiped blood directly into the eye, and I could never really get it out from then. But that's credit to Connor for landing those punches, when and where he landed them, because they did cause us some visual problems. And when I clocked him at the end of the first round, I seen his legs just sink a little bit. It was just before the bell. I thought, you're mine. I thought, you're all mine. I thought there's more of that to come. But credit to him, I couldn't quite get myself in position again, to land the flush right hand, which we thought was going to be the shot to get him out of there, and he moves very, very well. We knew how hard of a fight that was going to be stylistically, and that's why he accepted it. If that fight was in a phone box, I'd fancy myself every time. But this is the BKFC, on that size of a ring, and, the circular environment, it makes it ideal for lads like Connor who've got that stuff in their arsenal and they can showcase that stuff, because I was never going to match him for footwork or boxing skill, but I'm glad he come and made it a bit of a fight, and I'm glad we could put a bit of a fight on for the fans. Eventually when he hit me ear, I don't know if it was the end of the second or the third, my ear started ringing immediately, and my senses just seemed dampened, my vision in my ear. My ear was ringing, my eyes were blurry, and my legs kind of went a bit heavy after that. But that's full credit to Connor, for doing the damage that he done to me. 40 years old, I felt incredible going in there. But, on a skill set sort of scenario, and listen, I knew I was going to be a bit behind him, and my skill set doesn't really belong with his skill set, really. But when I watched the fight back, I was glad I looked like a fighter that belonged in there with him, and looked like I tested his chin a few times, and I thought I could have hit him a bit harder. But listen, full credit to him for what he done and the fight that he fought. I can't even really remember when the referee waved it off. It was that much of a blur. I wasn't really myself. He did surprise me with a few of his attacks. And my skin can't take it no more. That's the truth. My skin cannot take it no more. The doctor was laughing at how much scar tissue was actually there. And a rather uncomfortable experience in the stitch room at the end, when your adrenaline's dropped, and it's not a nice place to be. But the experience as a whole, what an experience. That's something I'll remember, for the rest of my life. That ring walk, the energy in there, the confidence I had. Wow, what an experience, what an environment, what a venue, what a main event to be part of. Thank you everybody on the card. I get on with everybody on the roster. I don't have any problems with any fighters. I get on with them all, and it was good interacting with a load of fans and getting me props. And what can I say? I loved it. Thank you everybody. Thank you so much. Praise the good Lord that we both got home safe. And I spoke to Connor on the phone a little bit afterwards, and it was nice to congratulate him and wish him well going forward, because I've already made a decision, what I'm doing in the future and where I'm going next. But, I'm not going to announce that just yet. I'm going to sit and chill out and enjoy some cake and some junk food and put my feet up for a couple of days. I've got 1 or 2 trips planned, and You know, I'll be announcing my next move before long. You know, but like I say, I was glad I could get in there and test his chin, if you like. You know, I didn't look out my depth considering, you know, the gap in skill sets. And all credit and praise to Conatina. You know, it was his night and a massive event, a massive occasion for him, and probably a big stepping stone in his career, that. And I'm absolutely made up for him, you know. I really am. He's a great lad. He really is. And it was an honour and a privilege, you know, thrown down with him. And these things are what they are, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we do these things for strange reasons. A lot of the fighters, you know, the reasons that we fight. You know, but for me, the reason that I fight for is, you know, the fear. You know, the overcoming, the unknown. You know, going into the unknown. You know, there's no feeling like it. You know, I sat in my dressing room for an hour and a half doing a meditation before that fight, and I felt so incredible when I come round and got back into the room. I was so confident and, you know, filled with strength. But, you know, that to me, again, that's as a believer, you know, that's a sign that to tell me, you know, that it wasn't for me. You know, because if I can do that amount of preparation and I can be in that sort of shape and I can be that confident, you know, and I still can't quite get the job done, then, you know, that's a sign for me, you know. But like I say, I'll be announcing my next move before long. Again, I just want to, you know, extend my thank you to everybody and anybody that came to that event. What an event. All the BKFC staff, you know, the ISKA, everybody on the roster, all fans and followers, everybody, you know, a massive thank you. It's been an incredible journey. You know, what a journey it's been for me. As I said on a podcast not long ago, you know, if I ever thought in my wildest dreams I could have achieved a fraction of what I've achieved in the BKFC in 3 years, you know, yeah, what a time to be alive. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Happy Monday to everybody. Bye-bye for now.